It's so nice to
Hi,
meet you.
nice to meet you too.
I'm Emma. I'm from the Nocturnal, and we're just gonna get into talking about your new single, "Hurt Me Too," dropping on May
Yes.
24th. Congratulations!
Oh my God, it's so soon.
Yeah,
Been a
it's
long time coming with this track.
I love it. Um, so I'm curious to know what personal experiences or emotions fueled this track. Could you walk us through the production process and why you chose to release this song at this time?
Actually, this song goes way back. I think I wrote it like 3 years ago, and it's gone through so many different versions. Uh, like the way the song originally started was more like synth pop. I think that's the kind of vibe I was on at that time, and I don't know, it never felt like the right time to release that song. Also because just as time went on emotionally, it just wasn't there anymore, kind of.
Mhm.
And it's pretty heavy. I mean, I don't write that many like heavy songs, like really personal, sad songs. And yeah, as time went on, I don't know, I never got around to it. But then with this up and coming project I'm working on, this new EP, I'm really like leaning more towards diving into, I guess, things that I never really wanted to talk about, that I never felt like I could, or things that feel very personal to me, or like my own perspective, really let my fans kind of take a peek into what it's like being me. And it was such a good song. I felt like I was selling myself short if I didn't release it. And I know that a lot of people can relate, will be able to relate to this track. And for me, this song is kind of going to set the tone for my upcoming EP. So yeah.
That's so nice. Looking forward to the EP too. This is the prerequisite to it.
Mhm.
Maybe you could talk about the specific message you hope listeners will take away from the single, and maybe how you related to the whole experience.
I think what I want people to take away when they hear the song, sometimes you give your best, like you give it your all, and you even really push it, to try and make things work. And sometimes it's just not enough.
Mhm.
And that's kind of, it was such like a heavy emotion for me at the time. I was just like, I kind of never really kind of worked myself up to releasing it. So, but I guess it's kind of saying like sometimes you give your best and it's not enough. But I guess I was coming from a place of empathy. It's like I know that this sucks and I know that it hurts because like I'm also hurting. So I know how it feels. It's kind of saying like, hey, I'm here with you. Like I feel it and it sucks, kind of thing. So it's kind of yeah, it's a it's a sad but very true realization that I had. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, like you said, I'm sure fans are going to be able to relate to it, and they're very excited to see this side of James.
Yeah,
Um,
I was actually able to preview the track to a very small group of fans, and they've never reacted to my music like this. So I'm excited to share it with everyone.
how was that experience like, that like small fan listening?
It was cool. It was a like a small like fan meet and greet for something else entirely, and then I was like, you know what? I have something to play for you guys. So I put on the song and they said, "Is this unreleased?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're the first people to hear it," and they were almost in tears. So yeah, I can't wait for it to come out.
Oh, that's so awesome. And speaking
Yeah.
of fans, like just speaking of being able to perform for them, I know that you're hitting the stage at the Kakma Festival just in a few days.
Alma Festival. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
How does it feel to just be performing alongside so many other talented Filipino artists and just contributing to this awesome festival experience in, the motherland?
Yeah, it's a huge festival that's happening in Camsor. The governor there is actually a close friend of mine. I asked him like, why are you doing such a huge? I think it's like promoting is one of the biggest festivals in the world. So it's one of the biggest free music festivals in the Philippines at the very least. I asked him why, and he's like, why not? Like we deserve to have, cool things like that too. And I was like, you know what? Amen. Okay. I can go with that. So I'm really excited to go. And I will be performing Help Me Too for the first time. Um, and it's going to be the night before the song comes out. So after I perform this track, it'll come out at midnight.
Ooh,
Yeah, so
that's
the audience is gonna get a sneak peek at the track before it comes out.
Ooh, that's so exciting. Um, and I'm just gonna transition a bit into Careless music because I
Mhm.
know it's definitely something you're very passionate about. It must have been a journey to reach this point of creative control. How empowering is it to be the captain of your own ship, and what keeps you motivated to just keep going and keep doing this thing?
I think it's honestly the people I work with, it's being able to work with people and create that kind of work environment, doing something that you love, and doing it on your own terms. I worked with like a lot of like big companies, big management before when I was starting out in the Philippine entertainment industry and like acting and everything. And I mean, they know what they're doing for sure. They know what they're doing. But they always told me there's a formula, there's a way to do stuff. It has to be like this. And I don't know, I'm very curious. I have a very curious soul. So I was just like, I just can't agree with that. I feel like, someone has to try and do things outside of the box. Someone has to push it a little bit because otherwise, how will you know if it works? So I think the greatest reward for kind of taking creative control over my music and really pushing Careless is being able to take risks that I think other people might be afraid to do. But they do come with a cost.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword, but it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot of fun. And um just the last release with the label to my knowledge was Jacuzzi, and it featured BI and DJ Flick. And I'm curious to
Yeah.
know, with that going on and with your own EP coming up, what direction do you envision for that label to go in, and like any collaborations or any events, or even personally any like personal collaborations or events you'd love to attend in the future?
This EP that I'm working on is actually mixed with a lot of Tagalog songs that I've been writing, which that's probably going to be news. I don't think I've said that yet to my fans yet, so they should be excited to hear that.
Yeah.
And it's really targeted at the Philippines, Southeast Asia. I hope to bring this to Southeast Asia and collaborate with a lot of local and Asian artists. I've collaborated with a few already, and it's always a lot of fun.
Mhm. That's so important to just put them on the map, and it's something everyone's always looking for. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. You've come so far all these years, and you have this ever-growing fan base. But what advice would you give to your younger self when you're first starting out, specifically with music and building your own label, that you wish you knew then that you know now?
What would I tell my younger self
Yeah,
about starting a music label?
yeah, just
Um,
in this whole journey.
don't do it. Just go and be a chef instead. That's what I was going to do when I was a kid. I was like, I always imagined one day I was going to be a chef,
Mhm.
like, because I loved cooking. And then I don't know, my whole world just kind of got flipped upside down when I moved to the Philippines and took me down a completely different path.
No.
Um, but I don't know if there's any advice I could give to myself. Stick to your guns in what it is that you want, even when everyone's telling you, it's not going to work out. Go back to doing this, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, it'll all make sense and eventually it'll all fall into place. Just got to stick it out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great advice in general too, to fans, like just sticking everything out, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Just stay true to yourself and stick it out and it'll make sense.
I love it. And I mean, you never know, maybe you could do like a celebrity chef cook-off type situation in the
I've
future.
been thinking about it.
That'd be really fun to see. I'm sure so many people would love to see that.
Yeah,
Um, before we close off, I really want to get into some fun questions just revolving around you.
sure.
Yeah, and I know you've been in the entertainment industry for such a while now, and you've transitioned from acting with this focus now into music. Have you been watching any shows or watched a movie recently that you think deserves a shout out? Or if not, maybe music that you've been listening to that maybe even inspired Hurt Me Too all those years ago? I know it's a loaded question, but you can choose between those.
Yeah, that's a lot. Music and film. When I'm in like an album making process,
Mhm.
I try to not take in too much influence from stuff because I keep changing my mind. I get analysis paralysis and I just keep, changing my mind. So I try not to. Now that you mentioned film, I do plan on actually going back to film. Um, there is a movie that I'm trying to help produce and that I will be starring in. Um, Either this year or beginning of next year is what we're targeting, hopefully. It's very early stages, but um, the movie would revolve around music. Not like a musical, but
Mhm.
like about musicians. And the last time I did a film was, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. So it's been a while. Excited to, try film again, and especially on this project when it's about music and something that's very close to me.
Yeah, it seems so perfect. That's so exciting. I know friends are
Yeah,
gonna,
thank you.
yeah, it's so, and to be behind the screen and in front of the screen, I'm sure is really, insane. Yeah, congratulations on all of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I saw that you recently did a collaboration with Stussy and Levi's. And if you take one look at your Instagram page, you can already tell your fashion sense is like on point. I'm curious to know, how is it like working with those two brands, and are there any cool fashion trends you've been into recently that like you want to shout out?
Specifically that one, I love the whole vibe that they were going for, especially because there's this one trend that has been happening recently of like very Western Americana, which I thought was really cool, and I was able to incorporate a bit of that into my style, especially with that Levi's Stussy collab that I did. But yeah, I think that's one trend that I've been incorporating a lot into my style. If you go through my feed and everything, yeah.
Mhm. For sure. And just to end everything off, I'm curious to know, what message do you have for your fan base at this time, or any potential new listeners who are coming from Hurt Me Too? Something that you just want to let them know for, the upcoming EP and everything you have coming out in the future.
Well, Help Me Too is coming out on the 24th. I hope I got that right.
Yeah.
24th, right? It's coming out on the 24th. And it's just the beginning. It'll be wrapping up to a whole new EP that I've been working on that has both English and Tagalog tracks. And really, I don't think anyone's ever heard me on tracks like these before. Super excited. I think it's not even complete yet, and it's already my favorite project. So hope you guys stay tuned.
So excited. I'm sure everyone is super excited. Congratulations on everything. And yeah, best of luck with everything in the future.
Thank you so much, Emma.
Yes, of course.